Hello there, my Otsutsuki brethren. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. Judging by the thumbnail and also the title, you could see that this video is an original video from the amount of evidence I've gathered, and the title of this video is What If Izuku Was the Son of Orochimaru? Okay, now this is going to be a mercenary slash vigilante AU, and to begin, and shall we begin? We shall begin with a 4-year-old Izuku who is with his mother, who shall be heading with his mother and also twin sister Izumi, his Midoriya. They both shall be with their mom. They are heading to the quirk doctor to get a quirk assessment. As when they would test Izumi first, and they'd say that Izumi has a powerful telekinesis quirk. Inko would be quite glad and expecting that her oldest son shall also have a powerful quirk as well. Either way, it doesn't really matter. So they went and they did tests with Izuku. As when the doctor came back, the doctor came with an unpleasant look on his face. Inko was quite worried. So was Izumi. When they got when the doctor came back with the results, he placed an X-ray of a foot an X-ray of Izuku's foot on the whiteboard and said, "Mom, look closely at this and look closely at your daughter's own and tell me what's the difference." As Inko would go that apparently my son has an extra joint in his pinky, and the doctor says exactly. And this is why I'm here to tell you this sad unpleasant news, man, that your son is quirkless. Izuku being in a state of shock, not knowing what to say, not knowing any emotions to give out right now. As all of a sudden Inko herself would be like very disappointed, looking at Izuku with a very disappointed face. Izuku would notice this and fear would start to run down his spine. As Inko would say, "But how is that even possible?" Then the doctor asked, "Could you please tell me what's the quirk of you and your husband?" As she would go on to explain, as in canon, that she has a telekinesis quirk, but it isn't as quite powerful. It allows her to pull small objects towards her, whilst Izuku's father Izashi has a fire-breathing quirk. As the doctor would say then, "Mom, I'm sorry. Usually a kid would have one of the other two quirks, or a half and half, or both quirks separated, the same way that your daughter has a telekinesis quirk similar to you, but it's much more powerful." As Inko would look at this in Izuku one more time, very disappointed, and she would just shake her head and not murmur one word. As she would look, as after she would then look at, as then after she would look at Izumi with a wide smile on her face and say, "Let's go, dear." As Izumi would be like, "Yes, mom," and Izuku with a shaking voice would be like, "Come in, mom." They'd both enter in the car. The car ride would be quite silent from Izuku's point of view, but with Izumi sitting in front as long as with his mother, both would be excited, cheering, singing, praising. Can't wait to get home. Can't wait to get home so Inko could tell Izumi quite a lot about how her quirk works. When they arrived home, Izumi would head straight to the living room, remove her shoes, and start jumping and dancing around, praising that she has a quirk. As Izuku would then head straight to his room, tears balling down his eyes, thinking that his mother has abandoned him completely just because he has had a quirk. As Inko wouldn't care about Izuku, as she'd go straight to Izumi and she'd go around dancing as well as Izumi. After a while, she'd tell Izumi that she has to go and prepare dinner. Izuku would then be upstairs crying himself to sleep. As Inko would then say, "Dinner is ready, come downstairs to have dinner." Izumi would have already been downstairs, would run to the kitchen and have a seat, while Izuku would then come downstairs weakly, almost tripping over his own self. Inko was having dinner. Inko would explain everything about how her telekinesis works and hopefully how she believes Izumi's own might work from what the doctor have told her. Izuku once again, from his point of view, there'd be no conversing between him, neither his sister. A year later would pass as both Izuku and Izumi turned 5. They would they would throw a party for Izumi, but they would leave Izuku out of it. As Inko yes, as Inko would also like to introduce someone new to her kids. When she called a man from outside to enter into the room, she would tell the kids that kids I'd like you to meet your new stepdad. As a man, a very buff man would enter in, as both Izuku and Izumi would go, All Might! As All Might would then buff down and say that, Hey kids, from now on I shall be your new stepdad. No, now remember that no one isn't in the room quite yet. So, Inko would go on and to tell the kids that they were going to be getting married in another year. Both of them would be very heavily excited, except for Izuku, who is quirkless. As All Might would then go on, well, Toshinori would then go on to ask, what are both of the quirks? As Izumi would go that she has a very powerful telekinesis quirk, and so far, during that year, she was capable of lifting at least 100 to 220 pounds. That would be like possibly a sofa when you speak of telekinesis, a large sofa. So as All Might would go, then wow, that's quite a powerful quirk. As then he would go on to Izuku, and Izuku would say that he's quirkless. All Might, forgetting that he was once quirkless before in the past, would then have displeased figure, a displeased figure and a disgusted face, as he would say, "That's just sad." Izuku would have a very sad look on his face, thinking to himself that even his idol thinks that he's useless, powerless. In this world where crooks exist, power means everything. Moving on to another year, Inko would have already gotten married to All Might, or aka Toshinori, and would have told both Izumi and Inko about how One for All works. Izumi would reject One for All, seeing that the fact that it's a borrowed power, but All Might wouldn't want to give it to no crummy brat known as Izuku. So he and him and Inko would plan to have another child. The child name would the child would be born 3 months later. Wait, what the fuck? Correction. During that extra year before they got married, they had already planned on having a child. So Inko would have been 6 months pregnant already. Izumi would be very proud, as that 3 months later that child would be born, and Inko and Toshinori would have already been married. After that child was born, they would have neglected Izuku completely, as Izuku would have felt that neglection and feel the sadness, heavy sadness weighing down onto his shoulders, because he's powerless. Oh my god. How the fuck? Seeing the fact that he's powerless. Up until one day in the middle of the night, Inko and Toshinori would wake up Izuku and tell them, Get out of bed, you brat. As both of them would take a long stroll somewhere far on the, let's say, the border of Japan. As when they got there, they'd have just abandoned Izuku completely and just leave. And say that don't ever think of using the name, well, to be more exact, that He's no longer Yagi, so mm, don't ever think of coming looking for any of us ever again. And don't ever think of using the name Midoriya ever in your life without them knowing that they is without them knowing about the fact that Izuku has already known that he has already realized that all my the entire family has changed their name to Yagi, and Izuku was the only one who was left as Midoriya. But 2 more years would pass as Izuku would have been 8 years, just walking and walking and walking. He would have walked for the rest of his life, no one to help him out. Izuku would train himself. Izuku would train in different arts of self-taught martial arts, self-taught self-defense. Izuku would be much more powerful than the ordinary 8-year-old kids, especially those with quirks. Well, not flashy, powerful quirks, but ordinary quirks like simple like let's see. Quirks that could restrain people and certain stuff like that. Or a simple kid who has a regeneration quirk. Izuku would be able to move faster, attack quicker, attack quicker than a attack quicker than even a teenager who has a regeneration quirk could even regenerate. He was able to hit faster than the regeneration could heal that blow. Up until one day, Izuku would feel fed up, as he would see. Izuku would be weak, very weak, as he haven't eaten quite, as he barely eaten during those 2 years. Izuku then would fall over, fall over in a place filled with snow, where in that snow he would brush the top layer of that snow as a white flower would pop up. As Izuku thinking to himself that why would such a beautiful rose like this bloom in such this cursed world, a world where power decides every single thing. As he would say to the flower in a very weak and devastated and angry voice, what is your problem? Why would you see it fit for it to bloom in such this place? A place where you are left alone, powerless, no one looks after you, left in the cold all on your own, no arms around you, as the flower would just simply sway in the wind, as Izuku could think, so you'd rather not speak, huh? Well, then how about I end your life now? As Izuku would hear a word like a weird voice saying, if you end its life now, you later on in life will feel regrets, as it will die in peace and have no regrets about living its life. But if you leave it to wither on its own, you shall have no regrets of your own, and neither shall it. As Izuku would look around, weakly turning his head left to right, and say who was there. As from a small puddle, Izuku would see the water starts to run. As the water starts to spiral, as Izuku would head to the water and look, as he would see, oh my god, what the fuck? As he would see his reflection and think to himself that oh, it's just me. As then his reflection would change to the photo that you could see in the top right. You would see this pale-skinned man, uh, and he would jump. Izuku would then jump back and fall on his butt, and then say, "What the hell is going on?" As the man would then hop on out, and then say, once again, both you and I understand that this world is accursed and power means everything. Power itself means everything as you know this yourself. But what's the point of even facing those with power if you have no power yourself? As Izuku would have no answer to that, as he would just look down in fear and in shame. As the man would then touch his face, oh you dear child. There's a simple answer to that. You don't have power yourself, you simply take it from those who do. and make it your own, as many people in this accursed world have done it before, and many do it as well. The same as, I should say, as your so-called father, Toshinori Yagi. As Izuku would be out of curiosity but still weak, would say, what does he mean? As the man would then say, let's not worry about this now. If you wish to grasp the power that's in front of you, simply follow me. And that's where we're going to end it. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, what could I say? I love you guys. Merry Xmas, and also Merry Invelated Christmas to all those who celebrated Christmas this year. Also, don't forget to stay safe, guys, and bye.